Multitasking, it is a fact of modern life, but oh, can it drive you crazy? And it may not be the most efficient way to accomplish everything you need to do, whether it's in an office, on the road, or at home with the kids. Psychologist Jennifer Hartstein of St. Luke's Roosevelt Hospital in New York City is here with some tips on how to cope. Good morning. First off,
Good morning.
Are you a multitasker?
Of course I am, aren't you?
Who isn't these days?
Exactly.
But how good are people at it? When we're doing three things at once, are we really getting the efficiency that we need with what we're trying to accomplish?
We aren't. No, you aren't. If your attention is divided, you're really not getting enough attention to each specific thing, so you're far less efficient than you would be if you were focusing on one at a time.
And as far as our brains are concerned, how do our brains handle this?
Basically, if you're doing two similar things, your brain is focused on those two things, and you can't do it. If you actually do two separately very different things, you can focus more easily.
Now, multitaskers are basically, whether they're compartmentalizing things, right? Their brain is in smaller, I guess, smaller places or little avenues that are kind of doling out attention to certain things. Is that essentially what's happening? Is that why we're really not able to do great things with all those different dimensions, but just kind of parceling things?
Well, if you pay attention to one thing, you're really efficient. You're getting it done quickly. You're getting every piece focused on. If you get distracted, you're not going to be as efficient, and you're going to take longer, and you're going to make more mistakes. So compartmentalizing is a great idea, but it doesn't help you.
What type of long-term effects are we talking about by not really concentrating on one thing and doing 4 and 5 things at once?
You're going to have to redo projects. Revenues for business may go down because you're constantly interrupted, so you're not as productive in the long haul. And if you take your attention away even a little bit from something while you're like driving, while you're answering your cell phone, you can get into accidents. 5 times more accidents happen that way.
And how annoying is it when you're on the phone with someone and you can tell, and I do this all the time, I'm on the phone with someone, but I'm also on the computer, or I'm looking through the paper, or I'm talking to someone else. And it's not until you're on the other end of that, when you know that you're talking with someone who's distracted, and you're like, yeah, they're doing 2 other things right now. They have no idea what we're talking about.
It surely can impact relationships, absolutely, because you're not giving anything your full attention, so everything's getting superficial and surface attention, and that's no good for you or them.
It's almost a common courtesy thing now. Now, you've got some tips here so we don't lose our minds when it comes to multitasking, and the first thing you talk about is creating a routine.
Right. The more organized you can be, the better off you are. If you create a routine, you can't forget things, you can keep things in line, and you know exactly what you need to do, and you'll actually be more efficient.
Minimize tech checks.
Yes, it's hard. We are a technology society. We have email, we have phones, we have Blackberries, we have iPhones, everything is out there. And the fact is, if you can minimize that, check your email once an hour instead of every 5 minutes, you'll be more productive and get more done.
I do that on vacation, though. Does that make me a little crazy?
It makes you a little compulsive, but not necessarily crazy.
Doesn't describe me at all. Okay, make it instrumental. This is kind of good. I like this.
Music should be instrumental. The fact is, if you're listening to a radio station, the talking, the lyrics are going to distract you, just like someone knocking on your door and interrupting.
Prioritize.
Put the things in order. Make a list. What do you need to get done? What has to be done? What would you like to get done? And what would be nice to have happen if you can?
And I guess this is the big one. You just got to kind of accept that, you know what? I may not be able to get to everything. Might not be able to do it all.
Right. And how hard is that for us to accept? We want to get it all done. We want to be on top of our game. And sometimes you're just not going to get to it, and you have to give yourself permission.
And we've been talking a lot about the technical side of multitasking, but, moms, too. It's, pick up one kid here, the other kid there, go to soccer practice, go to ballet, piano lessons. There's so much to do for parents.
And there are all these stories of mothers and fathers forgetting children in cars. Again, routine, organization, staying as focused as possible, giving yourself little reminders in the car, sticky notes, lists, whatever you need to do to give yourself that little bit of reminder.
Jennifer Hartstein, thank you so much. I see that your phone is going off, and also your Blackberry, too, so you might want to take care of that.
It is.